Hi, welcome to eBuilding. In this tutorial we'll show you the new multi-users function. With the 2.0 release of eBuilding, you can manage multiple users for sharing buildings, units, models, folders or single files, giving different levels of permissions. On eBuilding you can manage user permissions in two ways. The first one is from the user management, very useful for massive application of permissions. And then from the front end, directly from the main screen of your account, much simpler but more suitable for single permissions. Let's see how to manage users from the user management. From the main screen of your account, click on My Users on the top right. Then click on Invite User button and enter the email of the user you want to invite. Until the invited user accepts the invitation, you will see his email in the left column called Invitations. The user who receives the invitation will receive an email notification. This email will contain a link to accept the invitation. Once the invitation has been accepted, the email of Account 2 will move from the Invitations column to the Workgroup column. From now on, Account 2 will be child user. In other words, it will be a collaborator. From now on we can start sharing buildings, models or content. To choose what type of access the Account 2 will have on the content of Account 1, we have to click on the wheel by the email, and select what type of permission to give him. You will see the list of buildings of which Account 1 is the owner, and for each of them you can decide what type of permission to grant to Account 2. Read permission will allow the invited user to view the object but will not have permission to modify it. Edit permission, however, will allow Account 2 to apply changes as well. For both permissions there is an additional sharing option, Apply or Deeply Apply. If you choose, for example, to give a permission of a building by clicking only on Apply, the Account 2 can see or modify, read or edit only that particular building without having access to the units inside it and its contents. If Account 1 opts instead to grant any permission, choosing for Deeply Apply, the invited user can view or modify, read or edit, the building and everything inside it. This gives more in-depth access to all hierarchical levels of existing eBuilding objects. If you click on a unit, you have access to the list of all the folders and files inside it. Similarly to building in units, here you can manage the permissions of everything that is present within that unit, models, folders or single files. The user who received the invitation can access the shared content by clicking on the top left of My Workspace and selecting the parent account, the account from which the invitation was received. So you can see everything is shared with you. Managing users from the user management is better for massively sharing objects, since all objects on an account can be selected from a single screen. Frontend Sharing. As mentioned above, you can also manage user permissions from the front end, directly from the eBuilding main screen. Just right-click on any eBuilding element to make Share with Users button appear. Clicking on it, a screen on the right will open. By this screen you can add a user already existing in the workgroup simply by clicking on Add People and selecting the user concerned. By default you can share with read-only permission. In the next step you can further choose whether to grant edit permission and eventually extend it to all that is contained in the element you are sharing. Even in this case an email notification will arrive to Account 2, where he will be informed that Account 1 has shared material with him. When a content is shared with another user, a symbol will appear on the right of the content. If you click on it, a screen will open, and through it you can further manage the sharing mode of that item. You can add another user, or you can also change the permissions to an already shared object. You can also stop sharing by clicking on Stop Sharing. If you have many shared buildings with many users, you can use the top right button called Show Shared Only. This basically allows you to filter and show only content shared with certain users. The new multi-users feature of e-building allows you to create a highly shareable environment and manage the different user roles in a simple, intelligent, and above all safe way.